Howdy y'all, welcome back to Black Sheep Meadow. Want to get y'all in here. We're in the middle of October. We're going to do a quick video right quick. Where the weatherman's promising some really cool temperatures coming up here in the next 2 to 3 days. I probably got just a few hours for this first little front rolls in, so I'm trying to get as much work as I can done around the homestead. I want to show y'all this behind me is one of my main compost piles that will be ready for our spring garden 2023. I've already taken the tractor and actually knocked over the top of the pile and dug a hole in the center. And I want to show y'all how I basically flipped the pile. So I've got the center of the pile cut out, and I'm going to shovel it back in with watering as needed. I'm going to kind of do this as maybe like a partial compost part 2 video. Nonetheless, it's just going to be a real quick deal here where, like I said, we're super busy on the homestead this week. We've got the cool weather coming in, dropping temperatures by over 40 degrees. So let's make it happen. All right, so if we look in here, we still got we got some wood chips, wood shavings maybe out of the chicken coop that are still recognizable. But if we look, I want to get this. This is still pretty dang warm in the bottom of this pile. I want to show y'all our deer feeders going off. But getting in the bottom of this pile, this material is starting to, we're starting to break down into, you can't recognize a lot of this stuff anymore. It is, it's really, you can still notice some of the leaf matter, but here we are, we're progressing quite well with this pile. A few more months and this is all going to be ready to go in the garden. All right, so I want to show y'all here, this is a compost pile that we started. I got a couple of videos on this one. This is this compost pile for our carbon material. I primarily use sawdust or sawdust shavings from a local sawmill. You can definitely see in the previous videos, we talked about the color of the sawdust and how, of course, the organic, the nitrogen and the other organic matter is starting to break down. It's creating, you can see the color change of it. It was almost all white. So here we are, we've got really good color change. There's still quite a bit of heat in this pile. It's starting to, it's a little bit larger in size. We've been adding to it constantly, garden scraps, kitchen scraps. Most of the plants from our spring garden that didn't make it through the heat this summer ended up in this pile. So you can see it's a very nice progression. It was also due for flipping. We're going to add a lot of moisture to it and get it back up to temperature. I'm going to get y'all in. I'm going to flip these piles or actually enclose them. We're going to get as much fresh oxygen and water as we can into them. I'll get y'all videoed up and I'll get back with y'all. All right, y'all. Made pretty quick work of 2 compost piles there. Probably took me less than, I don't know, 15 minutes worth of actual shovel. having the tractor is extremely nice for getting the piles opened up. And of course we bring our water out here via the truck. I don't know if maybe y'all can see it back there in the background, but I'll get y'all flipped around here. I'm putting the gauges back in the piles. And actually the sun hits this side. I don't want the gauge over there. So we're going to look at I like to put the gauge in from the top and get it as close to the core or the middle of that pile as I possibly can. It's going to take it about 2 to 3 days to get back up to temperature. This is a wood chip pile. We got some added on to our property, purchased another 1.2 acres or so. And while we were flipping the compost piles, I said, you know what, I'm going to put the temperature gauge in the wood chip pile, and you can see there's no activity in there. We've been in easy, I don't know, 92 degrees for a high every day, and this pile is sitting at 80 in the middle. So it's not, but we didn't expect it to. That's just a pile of wood chips for the chickens. We may add the wood chips to the garden later on for organic matter. This is going to be an interesting one right here. We can thank Bradley for this. One of our neighbors had a tree that needed to be cut down, and this is going to be our hugelkultur mound for, I'll actually build this over the winter for next spring, but get ready for that video. That'll be interesting. This is how our ancestors survived in Texas, hugelkultur mounds. Oh, and then of course this is our youngest compost pile. We're going to get a gauge smack dab in the middle there. Wait a few more weeks and be ready to flip again. All right, y'all, I want to thank y'all for joining me again. Cool front's on the way. The wind just changed directions out here, so I want to ask y'all once again, I appreciate y'all for joining me on all these videos. If y'all have any questions, any subject lines y'all want addressed, please let us know. We pretty much do everything out here for ourselves. So this year we're planning on 80% of our own food. We're projecting to produce 4,000 pounds of produce for ourselves. That's not even including the meats. So stay tuned for all that. We're going to try and document every bit of that. So in the meantime, if we did a good job, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, ring the bell for the latest updates. We'll see y'all next week. All right, so a little bonus reel here. I'm heading back up to the house here in just a second, and Bradley's been here all afternoon. He said he didn't want to flip the compost pile with me because he looks like a hobo, didn't get dressed up today. We'll see about that, so hang in there with me for just a second. We'll see what he has to say.
Turn the camera on.
Yeah, no, camera's on. He says he didn't want to help me because he's dressed like a hobo, but the truth of it is, I just think he didn't want to help. He looked like a peacock fluffing his feathers. We'll see y'all next week.